My name is Hunter. This is Chris.
How do you get these ear pods to stop? I always see people doing this, but I guess it doesn't work.
He's old man Chris. He doesn't know how to use AirPods.
I don't. This is the first time I've had.
You're gonna be like one of those
Try it out.
those people that walk around with AirPods all the time.
No, just
Okay. Welcome everyone. Today we thought we'd share a little trick that we've come up with. I don't know if we came up with it, but we are using it now and we didn't see it anywhere else. To line up the rear quarter panel with the B-pillars so that you have a nice door gap. Be nice to your bodywork guy and set up good door gaps for him. So, Chris, you want to show the trick?
So there's a couple ways. First of all, if you're doing complete restoration and you have the fenders off, like this one over here, you switch it.
I can switch it. Hi.
See, the fenders are off. Typically, what you would do if your gaps aren't good before you start the conversion is adjust it right here. You can go back, you can go up and down like this. So if your gaps aren't good before you start, take off the fenders, and that's how you adjust it. If it's close and perfect, then we don't need to screw with the doors, and we can do this trick that we're doing right now.
Let's go turn off the air. I forgot to turn off the air. Ah, it's silent. Woo! Guess what color this is going to be? Anybody?
Same color.
The same color, but shinier.
It's going to be a patina. It's going to be
Patina restoration. We'll get in that later. What is the second way if you're building this from ground up?
When you're doing the come over here.
I'm sorry, I apologize. Okay, come.
When you're switching these B-pillars out from the Coupes, because they have a little window here for the quarter window, to the Fastback ones, you want to make note of where this joint is. It makes it a lot easier. So you can put it in the same exact spot so you have a good starting point. So then, once you get to this point without the quarter on, then you can put the quarter on like we have, fit it so it follows the gaps real nice.
So this needs to be flush.
You know,
quarter panel against it.
Flush against the B-pillar, and as close as you can get on the inner side of this side. And we'll show you what the B-pillar looks like without the quarter panel in just a second.
And one way to get the tail to stay, do you have a clamp in this?
I don't.
You don't have a clamp. Just throw a clamp right there on the tail section. That'll keep everything golden.
And since that it's not golden right now, I took it out. It kind of sagged a little bit, but you see that our bottom one is looking pretty good.
It needs to come out. There we go.
So you can see our bottom gap is pretty good, but the top is a little big. So that's when you can manipulate the quarter and actually pull the top of the B-pillar to the door.
So if we watch this measurement, so let it hang again. We're having a quarter panel fall off right now, and I'm holding a camera. Okay, there we go. So we could actually just manipulate this by pulling the rear quarter up towards the front of the car.
And that manipulates the B-pillar.
That manipulates a fender falling on my ass.
Yeah.
Okay. Can we let it go without falling?
Maybe.
Yep. Okay. So if we walk to the other side of the car, we're going to see what the B-pillar looks like without the quarter panel on. We'll do the same shtick over here. Everything is just screwed and clecoed in right now. The reason that we had to come up with this is there are a couple of measurements. Do you want to hold this? There are a couple of measurements that we wanted to start off with, but what we found with these cars is all the measurements are different. So if we measure Thelma, it's going to be different. If we measure any of these two cars, it's going to be different. If we measure the S code that we have, that's going to be different. So it's all within like 1/4 of an inch or so. So a couple of measurements that we started with was you want to make sure that you're basically even here. So we want the top measurement This one was what, 47
7/8.
7/8.
So we go to the top of this ridge where the door light indicator switch is, put it up against that rocker.
And then if you look at the tape, 47 7/8 to the very top there. Now that's a good one to follow. That measurement's really on normally. The bottom of the B-pillar though, we were having trouble because all the measurements were a little bit different. So the measurement between the very bottom of the A-pillar here, there's a tiny little overlap, and the right here where the B-pillar connects to the rocker, that measurement is not the same on both sides.
No.
It's just not. And we have checked and double checked, and all the cars are a little bit different. So the gap that you want to make sure that you focus on, or the measurement that you want to make sure that you focus on, is when your door closes and your fender's on, if that door gap is close. Now, we say close within like, I don't know, within less than a 1/4 inch, so that when you take it to body and paint, they can kind of figure out the rest of the door gap, and you can adjust it like Chris was showing you a little bit earlier. But you want it as close as possible, and typically with these #@Dynacorn kits, everything's relatively close. But you can see, if you want to do the close-up of that ridge you were talking about, I kind of ground mine down on the other side. But if we take a light, you can see this ridge right at the point of the drill. There's a little ridge right there. Normally that lines up pretty much spot on with the B-pillar. On the other side of the car, it's a little bit of a different case. These cars shift and they move and they change over 60 some odd years. So all of your measurements are going to be a little bit off. What that means is you need to make sure that you're fitting it to the parts that you have. Same thing with the back window, same thing with the trunk. Start off with the general measurements. And if you guys need some measurements, just let us know. We're happy to help. But start off with some general measurements as a starting point, or markers like this little notch here that's like the natural marker from factory, and then work your way closer, because that you should be relatively close here. This one we still have quite a bit to do. Chris actually cranked out the majority of the teardown the other day, and we're putting the B-pillars on right now. We're trying to get our door gaps as close as possible. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to start moving over to the inner structure.
Where'd you put that?
Hello, inner structure, inner fastback structure. Here, boy. Oh, found it. You little dickens. So we've gone through. This is what it looks like when it's not welded. So it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces, something like that. So what we do is we go ahead and take all of these pieces, weld them together to start with, because we know exactly where they fit with each other. So we go through and we spot weld this entire assembly together, and then we can come in and just set it on.
And make adjustments. It's a lot easier than spot welding it on the cars like we did on Thelma and Sway.
So the first couple of conversions that we did, obviously progressively we're doing, we're getting better and better and better at this. But the first couple of conversions that we did, we're taking each and every single piece, and we're like taking all these measurements for every single piece, and it took us hours and hours and hours. But as long as you know where all the pieces fit with each other, you spot weld it together, and then you can make the finite adjustments from there. Mm-hmm. Hello? Jesus? Oh, it's the stone guys next door. That wasn't creepy.
We typically have a ghost. Cat ghost.
Oh no, is it? So move our spot welder. I will show you guys this. There is an option from Dynacorn to do a pre-welded side. This is what the pre-welded side looks like.
A little more expensive. It's about $400 difference.
$400 difference. We kind of, for our labor rate and stuff, we kind of went back and forth as to what would be faster and more effective, better deal for the customer, etc. And we decided that was easier for us just to kind of put everything together previous. But Dynacorn does make an entire piece that's pretty cool. It's already welded. You can just set it in there. But again, you probably will need to make those finite adjustments, especially for the measurements across the car, your back window, etc. Basically, your measurements this way on the car. What are you doing? What are you doing on Sway?
Oh, so we're getting this over to paint. She's actually at paint right now, and she should be back next week. So we'll show her off, and then we can put her together, and she'll be done.
This is the front bumper for Sway. Doing a little bit of fiberglassing on it. Looks great, primered even. But we should have, you said next week?
Yeah, you said hopefully by Tuesday.
Man, that's awesome. Can't wait to see that painted.
I know. And then our S code will probably be a week after that. We'll get it back to put it together. And
I hope we get enough of it back. You know, because of it being a rust bucket and it's at the sandblaster.
The S code? That's that paint?
Oh, no, never mind. Wrong one.
Wrong fastback.
Wrong fastback. Whatever. All right. So just to kind of give you a little heads up on what we're up to these days. Another conversion. One went out the door, what was it,
Thursday.
Last week, Thursday. Chuckles. Go on by, see the shop, pick up your shirt. I still owe you one. Specifically ordered your size of shirt.
We have another project coming in on Monday too. Someone who's already done the conversion, and they actually have done the suspension conversion for the Mustang to Fear. It was the whole frame rail assembly, so we're actually going to be putting together all his engine bay and radiator support for him. He needs it done so he can continue on his journey.
His journey.
Yeah, his build journey, so it should be...
To Fordness.
We'll have that in on Monday. Maybe we'll do a little live.
Yeah, we'll do a live on Monday. Check out some Mustangs to Fear.
Yeah. Products are awesome.
Products, some suspension work that we're going to be doing. But yeah, we got like 3 or 4 cars out of here, and then we piled a few more back in here. So things are going crazy. If you guys need help with your Mustang or any other older restoration, it's so lonely back there. Hey, Bonnie McMurray.
I haven't seen her cry yet, so I think she's fine.
See me cry. We're still doing a giveaway, $500. All you gotta do is order a cool hat, cool shirt, cool keychain, whatever. Every $5 you spend, it's one entry. Some lucky winner is going to get $500. To enter, you just go to our Facebook page, click on the store. Everything's listed there, or just hit us up in chat. Be happy to hook you up with shirts, etc. at a good price. New projects coming in, old ones going out. Appreciate your support. If you guys know of any Mustang heads or resto guys, feel free to tag them in our posts. We try to give helpful hints here and there. Follow us on the Insta webs and the Facebooks and the YouTubes. I need to put up a YouTube video. It's been a while.
Oh,
The next one is putting Will Woods on Thelma. I gotta put that one. I got some work to do, kids, but don't we all? Until then, stay safe.
Have fun.
Do stuff.